That's Jewel.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else want to record? Okay. And I'll push the record button here. Let's see if it works. So I'm putting my 3 colors in my blue. So the first step is really easy. You just use these 3 colors and you make 3 squares or circles. I might make circles eventually. I would just cut out the circle with a template. So now my paintbrush is right here. So I'm going to use the bigger paintbrush. I have some water. And then I'm going to use, always have a paper towel in case I make a mistake. So now I have my paper towel. So I get my brush wet. And I start with yellow first because yellow is the lightest color. And you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm using this big brush and I'm just going to fill it in. I have enough paint that it's not too wet. And so the exercise actually helps you learn how much paint to put on and how thick to make it. So it's something that's you get with practice. If you make it too thin, you're going to have streaks. If you make it too thick, it's going to still look lumpy. So just doing the practicing, you're going to learn how much paint to put on it. Okay, so now I'm going to do the red. So I put a little too much paint. You can kind of see there's water on that plate. Put a little too much on there. Couple things I could do. I could dry it off with my paper towel so I can get just a little less water. And I'll just put it right here. So it's a little watery. You know, I knew I did that as soon as I started. So it's going to make more streaks when you make it too watery. But I think I could fix it. Okay, try not to go into that yellow because I don't want it to bleed, especially when it's too watery. So my red looks a little fuchsia to me, but I'm pretty sure I have primary red. Yeah, I definitely have primary red. And you could see it's kind of streaky. So I might have to do another red. I just made it a little too wet. But you can see. So if I keep stroking it while it's wet, get rid of the air bubbles, it might come out not so streaky, but I doubt it. So I'm just,
Bad.
yes.
Your screen is black.
It is.
Yeah.
From my view, I can see it. Nobody else can see it?
I
can see you.
I
I can see it.
Hold on. I'm going to try to.
Oh, there I can see it.
Maybe because I hadn't pinned the video and I didn't have it in speaker view, but I don't know if mine, there. I don't know if mine makes a difference. Okay, now it's less water and it's a little darker. So if you could see how I was too wet, I went back in and tried not to get it so wet. So there's no way, it's just about practice to get control. I'm not trying to get to the ends perfectly because I'm going to cut it off. I'm only going to make a small square inside or a circle, depending on what I feel like doing when I get to that stage. I'm just trying to concentrate on getting it less streaks. That's my goal. So the first one I did was too much water. The yellow one is fine. But this is a little better. It's less streaks. Yeah, this one's fine. Okay. And then the next step is the blue. So the blue is the darkest. Let's see, I'll put it here. I don't have it too wet. It's going on pretty even. It looks black on the screen, but it's actually blue. Wait a minute, I might have grabbed the wrong color. I did. So much for my eyesight. That is the black. Sorry. I don't want black. I want blue. And that's white. Okay, where's the blue? Here it is. And this is primary blue. Okay, there we go. I don't know how I got that black mixed up. Certainly not the same color. And now my water's nice and dirty. And I will switch waters and go with a clear one. Okay. So trying not to get it too wet. Just enough to move it. If you get it too wet, it's going to be streaky. And so my goal is just to get enough that I can either get a 1-inch square or a circle, which I'll use with a template once it's dry and cut it out. And then I'll make a nice presentation. And if you get it too dry, it gets streaky. This is a little streaky, but not too bad. So you may find that you do a few squares till you get it looking the way you want it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix equal amounts of 2 of these primary colors to get a secondary color. Now, that sounds simple, but it isn't. When I say equal amounts, it's not really equal either, because the yellow is the lightest, the red comes next, and then the blue is the darkest. I'm not going to put equal amounts of both colors because both colors are not the same. One is darker than the other. So I start with my yellow. So you can see, let's put it here. I want you to be able to see it. Okay, maybe I'll move this. I start with a little bit of yellow, and I'm only going to add a tiny bit of blue because a lot more yellow than the blue. Okay, and that gives me a green.
Miss Rad,
Yeah,
so you said, so you first make the primary colors, and now you're going from, you said like you're mixing colors from lightest to darkest.
yeah, I'm picking the yellow because it's the lightest, and I'm trying to make a green. So as I get it down on paper, I can see that it's not really a green, it's more yellow green. So it'll take me a few applications to get the equal mix.
Okay.
So it's not wasted because this will be one of my colors on the color wheel, but this has more yellow than blue. And when I first started it, I thought it looked fine, but not when I got it on paper. And as you do this, you might make more than one square and then get better at what you're doing. So far this is my,
Miss Rad, can you pull up your page, please?
oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You can see. Okay, so now I've got a yellow green, but I think now it's not my green, it needs more blue. So I wash my brush and I get a little more yellow in there because I need more paint. And this time a little more blue. And I might be going to the other extreme, I don't know, but we'll get it nice and mixed. It's a little wet, didn't mean to be so wet, but that's what happens. It's a little wet. Okay, so I'm gonna go in here. Yeah, it's definitely too wet. So get a little more paper towel and a little more color to try and have it not so wet. So you can see what I'm doing, trying to get it not so wet. And in doing this, I might have made it too blue. I don't know yet. Because it might look too blue here, but when it gets on the paper, it might not look so blue. We'll see. It's definitely a little wetter, so it streaks more. Yeah, the closer you can get it to the paint without having to add a lot of water, the easier it is to get smooth. But once you keep getting it wetter, definitely makes it harder to get it streakless. So I let it dry a little and I keep trying to get it not so streaky, because if it's too streaky, I lose points. And I do have a rubric that I'll put online. And this isn't due till the last week of class. So you have plenty of time to do this. Okay, so far it's a little streaky, but it'll work. Okay, so now I've got, it could be my blue, green, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna add a little bit more blue. Hopefully that will get it not so wet. And it might be more blue. Yeah, it's a little drier, so I have the opposite problem. Yeah, I need just a little bit of water, or I can't move it around. So I made 2-inch squares, but I'm going to cut them down to 1 inch. It's either going to be a 1-inch square or a circle, depending on which works better for me. Probably a square. I think it sounds easier. Okay, so this one's pretty smooth. That one's a little streakier. Definitely had more water in it. And so I'm going to try again. So I'm running out of yellow. I'm back to my yellow. And I put a little blue in it. And I don't know if I have enough paint or not to get another square. We'll see. It's a little wet. And I don't think it has enough paint in it. Now it's more blue. So now it's definitely blue-green. So you might find yourself with several combinations, and then you'll lay them out in the colors and then start editing which ones are your best. So this is more blue. These two are a stronger green. This is more yellow-green. So probably I might need one more, because these two greens, I kind of want to be right in the middle. This one has a little more yellow. This one has a little more blue. So where's my yellow? Getting a nice equal amount as you can see, I went from one extreme to the other. Okay, so I do a little yellow and a little blue. You can see. Does it look a little yellow green? Maybe a little bit more blue. And just a touch of water. I might have got it too wet. That's the problem. Okay, let's see. Does it look yellow? It's not bad. That might be my green. A little streaky. I don't mind if the sides are streaky because I'm cutting them off. So I look at that. That might be my green. Might be too yellow. I won't know till I lay them all out. But this could be my yellow green, my green, and my blue green. Possibly. Because this one looks a little too blue. So. And I could do another one. I could do as many as I think I need, but I think I'm okay on this end. Okay, so now get this all clean. I could move on to the red yellows. So I've got red. Here's my red. If I have enough red, it could be a little bit more red. So the hardest part, I think, is getting the right consistency and getting clean water. Okay, so this is going to be my red and a little bit of yellow. And as I get it blended, I'm going to make, so this had a little yellow in it. It looks truer red than my red. My red looked pinker. Dab it off on my paper towel. Get a little bit more yellow. See what I'm doing? I put a little bit more yellow in it. So it's really hard to tell till I make it into a circle which one is the correct color. One of the things that makes it easier is to buy one of those little color wheels, and they're about $2. And I may have 3 or 4 in my studio, but I don't know where they are. But they really help to line it up and see how well you match. But it's not crucial that you have it, it just makes it easier. Okay, so that's a nice, that's a nice orange. Don't know if it's a true orange or if it's more yellow or red. So let's see as I mix them. what I've got. So here we've got they're all just a little bit different. So it has a little bit more red than this one. And the other one has more red in it. So now I'm going to make one with a little more yellow in it. So I'll get some more yellow. So you can see my red and my yellow. So here's my red. I'm going to put a lot of yellow in it. Could use just a tad more water so I can mix it, get it to move on the paper. This might be the same as this one. Can't tell. And I'm going to add just a little bit more yellow to get really yellow, yellow orange. Okay, so add a little more water. Still, yeah, still has the yellow cast to it, but it's definitely got some red in it. It's not a true yellow. It's a little bit dry, so I added just a touch of water to it so it moves on the paper. Now I'm seeing streaks. It could be because it's not blended enough, has streaks of red in it. So I keep blending it and get rid of those streaks. But it looks a little yellower than all the others. So if this was my true red, this one actually looks more red, but it does have more yellow in it. So maybe I will go a little more red with some yellow because I don't think I have enough on the other end. So I have a little red with just a touch of yellow. Got it too wet. That could be a problem. Definitely too wet. So you can see what I'm doing. You can see how shiny wet it is. It's a little too wet. So I'm going to dip into the red, but I don't want a lot of yellow, just a little bit of yellow, but I'm really wet. With just a little bit of yellow. It went on pretty smooth. So this is my red. Either one of those are pretty close. I think this is my orange and this is my yellow orange. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll do one more.
Miss Rad,
Yes.
how many like squares of shades of all these like combinations do we have to do?
I don't know the number off the top of my head. I think it's, I have to write it down because I can't remember it off the top of my head.
It looks like you could go on forever and ever and ever,
No,
honestly.
what I'm doing right now is just trying to get shades so I can pick the one that works better.
Okay.
So let me just show you. You're going to have your red, yellow, and blue. Okay, those are my primaries. Then you're going to have orange. Then you're going to have green. And you're going to have purple. Okay, so right now, that's what I'm trying to do is I had straight green, I had straight blue, straight red, and straight yellow. Then I was trying to get the green and the purple. Haven't done the purple yet. So once you have these, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 colors. Once I get this, I'm going to have a yellow green. So that'll be my 7. It'll be yellow green. And that's why I'm doing so many, because I'm not sure which one's going to be my yellow green. My next one is going to be my blue green. So that's 8. My next one's going to be my blue purple. That's 9. And then my red purple. That's 10. My orange red. That's 11. And my yellow orange. That's 12. That's how many you're going to need is 12. So right now I'm making all these combinations, but I'm not using all of them. As I get the whole wheel made, then I'll decide which ones to throw out, because some of them are a little more than the other, and I'm not sure which one is the right one. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm aiming for. So right now I look at my red, I think it was red, yellow, and blue. And then I'm going to decide, is that orange or is that orange? Is that red orange and that's yellow orange? I'm not quite sure till I line them all up. And so then when I go to my yellow, I'll go, there's my green, my yellow green, and my blue green, maybe. Or maybe this is my green and my yellow green and my blue green. That's why I have a few, so I can figure it out. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Not sure.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm gonna do the last one, and then I'll put these away because you get kind of colorblind after you've done it so long. And I will mix blue and red, and I'll put it away, and later on in the class time I will start putting them back together and looking at them with fresh eyes, because you really, after you look at it for a while, you can't see it anymore. You need to take a break. Okay, so I'm going to take my blue, so you can see what I'm doing. There's my blue, and I'm going to add some red. Well, first I have this totally red, so I'm making a reddish purple because it was totally red. And it's not too wet. I'm actually getting it to apply. It's a little wet. You know you're the right consistency when it's really easy to get it smooth. When you still can see streaks, you have a little too much water in it. But it's looking okay. It starts to fill in after it dries. Okay, so I'm going to take that blue and I'm going to add just the red that's on my brush. And that's giving me a nice little purple. And it's a little drier. So I've got a nice purple. And I've got a nice red purple. I just need a 1-inch square so I don't have to get to every edge. Okay, so I'll wash my brush. And you can see this one's a little streaky. I knew it was wet when I was doing it. So you get the hang of it after a while, how much paint you need on it. So now I have a red purple. Do I want a blue purple or do I want another red purple? That's my question. I look at my, okay, let's try for just a little bit of red. And more blue. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm mixing two in here. So do I want it more blue? So it has some red in it, but it definitely is more blue. Or do I want it a little bit more red? Let's see all these different colors. So this one has a little bit more red. Is it different or is it close to what I already did? It's a little different. So I won't know till I put them all in a circle which one I'm going to get rid of and which one I'm going to keep. It's not bad. So I might go back to a little bit more blue. This one's okay. It's a little streaky. So I try to make a few samples so I have choices. So this one's going to get more blue. There's my regular blue. Are they close to the same? They're pretty close to the same. So I'm going to quit for now, and I'll come back to this later on after it dries, and I'll cut them up and we'll look at a circle. So I'll put this away. So on your projects, how far are you guys? What do you have done so far? So each of you give me a little idea. What would help you the most when it comes to me doing these demos? Are you struggling with flats? Are you more on the poses? What would help you most to see?
Flats.
Okay, so what kind of flats? Pants, jackets?
Pants.
Pants, okay. So let's get some paper. Get the layout bond. Take me just a second to find my supplies. Here's the layout bond. So describe your pant to me. Is it long pant, short pant, to the ankle pant? Is it
To
straight?
the ankle,
Okay. And is it straight or is it wide?
straight.
Okay. And is it a jean? Is it high on the waist or low on the waist?
It's high on the waist and it's like a suit.
Okay. So maybe I'll put it here. And so does it have pockets?
Yes.
Does it have a button?
Yes.
Okay. Does it have any tucks? Pleats right here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does it have
No tucks except for maybe a cuff at the bottom.
okay.
Mm.
Did you say no tucks?
Yeah, no tuck.
So erase that. So I drew that on bond paper. I should have drawn it on tracing paper, but I wasn't thinking. Okay, so since my front is already drawn and it's right on the waist, I don't have to show the back with it higher because it's right on the waist. So I'm going to show the back, and will it have some kind of pocket? It's like a dress pant. So it might have a dart, or maybe not that high. So it needs something to fit the curve of the, well, they don't have much curve on children's, but there's, I put a little pocket. I don't know if you want that kind of pocket on a
Yes.
pant. So it wraps around. This is my layout bond paper. forgot to draw the waistline. I drew it slightly off. Okay, so now I have my pant and my access lines drawn, all in pencil. So what other flat do you guys struggle with? Let's see, do I have? Anybody have one that they want me to draw? Should I draw another figure or another flat? Maybe I'll do a coat. Has anybody got a hoodie going on?
A fur coat?
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to get my grid going. Make sure I'm not crooked. So I'm going to have a hoodie. And it's going to have fur on it.
Miss Rad, can you push up the page, please? Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to do, it's a coat, so it's going to drop a little off the shoulder and then it's going to be full. So depending on how long I'm going to make it, it fits. Fits the sleeve. So I'm going to decide now, will it have a zipper? Will it fold over? So I'm going to fold it over here. And it's going to have a button here and a button here and here and here. And let's see, maybe I'm going to put another button about here. And then maybe one more button. I don't know if I want so many buttons. Okay, and then it's going to have a princess scene. And in that little princess scene, I'm going to have an opening. Maybe I'll put a flap. And it will open right there to get into there. Now, most coats have another seam right here on a sleeve. They have an upper and an under sleeve, top and a bottom sleeve. So I've put the fur. Maybe I will put top stitching here. And maybe I will put top stitching to match it. I can tell that's where it opens. I made it a little bit darker. Maybe I will put a seam right here, and you might see that seam right there in the back. Okay, so there's my design. And so when I put the paper, I fold it over. Now I figure out what will the back look like. So I'll see that seam in the back. And then this is running out of lead. Seems like it is, but maybe it's not. It keeps going. I'll just get a different pencil. It'll drive me witty. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to repeat this little top stitching here and then decide what do I want in my back. So I've got fur at the bottom. Do I want a yoke? That's what I have to decide. So maybe I'll put a yoke here and follow the same silhouette. This fur will go all the way and it'll match the sleeve. Now, this is my back. I could just get away with this much and I just keep adding the sleeve and bringing it down. But right now I'm just tracing it. Okay, so am I missing anything? Do I want top stitching on this part? Maybe I'll put that same wide top stitching. And then what do I want here? Do I want top stitching or nothing? Do I want princess seams? Maybe I want it, not sure, but I put it. Now I look at my design, figure out if that's what I like. And now I'm ready to put it on the same page as my, so I'm lining it up. So part of this is probably going to hit that pant, and I can decide whether I want to fold the sleeve or have it out. I'll decide when I get there. Hopefully I'll have enough room to decide what I want. So I can see my shape, can see my seam, and I put that top stitching on it. I can't see it right now, but when I come back, I'll fix that top stitching. So here's where it crosses over. Has another seam right there with the pocket. Button, 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 button. And it has the top stitching. I'll use my little it's easier to do top stitching with a ruler. And I'm just going to make this line a little thicker so that I know which one is the opening. That helps me. Okay, and then do I want that sleeve out or do I want it down? So I might take it and pull it down. So I just pivot it. So I'll have a little fold here. Hopefully the other side I have room to see the depth of the armhole. That was the gamble I took. Will I have enough room when I have it overlapping with that pant? I took a gamble that I would get it to fit. Yes, my gamble paid off. I can see the depth of the armhole, which is the reason why I want the sleeve out, because I can tell it's in line with that button. So when I design the pattern, I know that I get it in line with that button. So I have the princess seam. This is the princess seam. And that is the pocket. And I think I forgot this stitch on the other side. Okay, let's see. Has the buttons. I don't need to draw that opening because that opening is not on it. I'm not going to put the top stitching on that side. The buttonholes are only on the side that opens. And then I forgot the seam on the sleeve, the underarm seam. So when I pivoted it, there it is lined up. I forgot this. And then I pivoted it. So it was in line with that, and it has a seam right there. So now I forgot the hoodie. Go back, line up the HPS and the access line, and I draw the rest of the hoodie. Now I have to look at that hood and figure out how is it going to meet, because it doesn't look like I got it exactly meeting. So what I did is I met it in the front, but this hoodie is going all the way over here. So I need to change that. How do I want it to look? Do I want it when it wraps around? Okay, so it's going to come around and it goes to here. So will I have fur that goes all the way here and goes all the way here? And then will it go on top of that button? So it goes like this. That's what I have to decide. I'm the designer. I have to think about how I want it constructed. Or do I want it to end right here at this collar? And then the collar keeps going and comes over here and buttons. And then this collar goes on top and goes over, and you don't see it. So it ends right here. Is that how I want it? Or do I want it to go all the way to there? So it could go into the collar right here, and then it becomes a collar. And this is going underneath. So all these things, you may not be able to engineer it like this is your preliminary, but then when you get it on a dress form and start looking at it, you might change the way you design it. And then you have to change, go back to your sketch. Is that making any sense?
Yes.
Okay. So then I do my back. I don't think that's good because I can't see the armhole. So I need it to move over. So I'm going to line it up and move it over. Okay. So then it's going to line up. And then now I can see it. And I can see it. Okay, so there's one part of it. Flip it over. Line up the HPS, line up the access line. And so sometimes the little hoodies are detachable. So if I want this detachable, I have to think it through and decide how it detaches. And that means a lot of call out boxes to show how it could look if it detaches. And in the real world, if it wasn't COVID, I'd have you go look at a store and look at a jacket, how it's constructed. But we don't have that luxury unless you have one in your closet that's detachable, and you can go from there. So I just go back, line up my HPS, and then pivot it straight down so I have more room. And I'll have a little wrinkle there. So let's say I'm going to make that detachable. So it would probably have a collar inside that you can't see because I've done the hoodie. So if I was going to do a call out box, it probably has a collar that comes right here, and then this button's underneath. So you can see it. So I would show it So more than likely it would have, if you could see this, probably has a collar stand and maybe buttons right here, and that detachable hood would come in and attach. So you could see it attaching to this collar. So I'm going to have to show it and figure out how it's going to detach. So that would be in a call out box. And then this one right here. I'm going to show that it has buttonholes and a collar stand. So these are my little buttonholes. And they would attach right here to this collar. So I would have to show all that in call out boxes. So I would show it without the hoodie. Or I could show it buttoned with the hoodie falling back. I could definitely show that. And that would be one call out box. You wouldn't see the and then I would show it with the detached and you would see the buttonholes. So that is how it would attach. Anybody want to go to all this work and show all this? Yeah.
I guess if you want it to be done exactly the way you want it to be.
Yeah, you have to show it all. Okay, so there's the detachable. So it's buttoning right here, and you would probably see it. Buttoning right here. all of this would be the inside of the hoodie. This would be the fur. So you would show it both ways so you could figure out how it works. Makes sense? It's complicated, but it works if you want a detachable hoodie. Okay, so let's go back to our dried up board now. And I'm going to cut all these out. Paper cutter works really good. Too bad I don't have one. Be done in a slice. Actually, I probably have one. I just don't know where it is. Somewhere in here. So right now they're 2-inch squares, and I'm going to eventually make them either 1-inch squares or circles. I don't know yet. That one dried pretty smooth. That one still, I see a little streak, but it might not be there when I chop it up. So you don't need that black. That was an error. Okay, so now we're going to get our colors. So we have blue, yellow. Where'd yellow go? Here it is. Yellow and red. So here's our primaries. Now we're going to figure out blue and yellow and green. So we figure out which green do we think is best. And yellow and red is orange. And this is purple. So we figure out which purple is best. Then we figure out which one is red purple and which one is blue purple. And then we figure out which one is yellow green and which one is yellow green and which one is blue green. And then we figure out yellow red is orange and red. We figure out which red orange do we think is better. Maybe that one. Oh, you can't see that. Pull it up a little bit. Okay. And then which yellow orange is better? So do you think maybe take that one out? which red, blue, green is better. Take that one out. Which purple is better, the blue purple or the red purple? So we look at these. And that's why I made several choices, because I'm not sure which one is better. So if I did this one, is that a better mix? Or is this a better mix for orange? And this is a better mix for reddish orange. See how it gets a little, so this is when a color wheel's kind of nice, because you can line them up and look at them. I think this is the reddest. And then do I think this is closer to orange? And that's closer to yellow orange? Is that making sense? Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what do you think? Put it away for now. I made choices. I'll save these for later, and then we'll come back to it again. We'll come back to it and see what we think. Okay. So what else? Should I do more flats or should I do a pose? What will help you?
A pose. Can you do one with their like sitting down and their legs are in front of them?
I don't think that works well for showing the garment sitting down,
Mm-hmm.
because it bunches up and you can't tell what the garment does. I did have a pose of a sitting down. The only time I would use a sitting down pose is maybe on a cover page when I just want to give a mood, but not when I want to show off the garment, because it's going to scrunch it up. But I did have a cute sitting pose in one of these magazines. I remember it was cute. See if I can find it. I'm not opposed to drawing it. It's just that where I would use it, because the goal of these poses is to show off the garment. Okay, so I have a couple sitting poses. I have one like this. Let's see, we'll pull them out and look at them. The one in my mind, it was a little boy sitting. So I'll pull this one out. I have this one, two of them on the swings. I don't know what you had in mind. So we'll save those. Let's see. I have one on a swing. You really can't see the bottom half. Let's see. There was a sitting pose. That one's not bad. I can still see most of it.
Miss Rad,
There's one here. Yes.
so we just have to color the four child fashion figures, right? We don't have to color the templates.
Right.
Okay.
And
And
you mean
it's two boys,
flats?
two
When you,
girls, right?
when you say templates, you mean flats?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Flats.
You have to color 2 flats.
Okay.
And so look at those cute bathing suits. Okay, are these all the walking poses? Okay, so that's all the sitting in that one, but I thought one of them had a little boy sitting that I thought was cute.
We have to color, well, we have to draw out, it's 2 boys and 2 girls, right? For our fashion figures?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It used to be 5, but I took one out. I'm constantly, the longer I teach this class, I take more out because it's so much stuff. I know there was a sitting pose. Look, there's a grandma. I remember there was a little boy sitting pose. I thought it was so cute. Where did it go? Maybe it's just in my imagination. Or maybe I ripped it out because the other side had a cute sketch. That's possible. Okay. Okay, so here's a sitting pose. Here's a sitting pose. Here's a sitting pose. Here's a sitting pose. Do you like any of these sitting poses? Whoever wanted the sitting pose? I don't remember who it was. Do you like any of them? Between these two that I think would read the best. Whoever wanted it, which one do you like? Okay, then I'm gonna pick. You know me, I'm gonna pick that one. I like whimsy. Okay. What should I put on this person? What kind of garment? No? Having trouble with the voice? You have to unmute? Okay, so I'm gonna just sketch it. Okay, so it's cute, has a cute little face. I'm gonna make her face rounder because it'll read better. It'll look younger. And then she has that cute little finger pointing up on her. So it's right on her nose. And her hair. I don't know if you wanted a boy or a girl. I don't know who asked. I didn't pay attention to the voice. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to make the legs chubby because it looks cuter. See, when I bend it, I'm not sure the silhouette anymore. So it's just mostly for a mood. That's why it'd be good on a cover page because it's just giving a mood. So her hand is under her. And
You're saying that like the pose of them sitting down is giving a mood?
yeah, it's just for a mood because I really can't tell the silhouette of the garment.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so I think she has a Peter Pan collar. And let's see. This is a busy little sketch. It's got light bulbs all over it. Maybe I won't do every little thing. This one came up higher. Looks like she's picking her nose the way I drew it. Maybe I will. Looks like she made this out of an old ice cream box because it doesn't have any shape. And it looks like those containers at Baskin and Robbins. Can you can't see it, can you? It looks like an ice cream container. Maybe I'll give her some
The
pigtail.
arm does? Wait, what's an ice cream container? Oh, her hat.
It looks like an ice cream. It's probably just cardboard cut,
Hmm.
but it looks like an ice cream container. Okay. So I don't know who asked for this. Does it help at all?
Thank you.
You're
Yeah, it does
welcome.
help.
So should I color it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm going to color it with the flesh marker. Up there. It must be here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to color it with, this is too dark, and this is, maybe I have it out already. So I think I will ink it first so it doesn't smear. Yeah, this is a 005 that's actually split. And it has a cute little nose. Where's my picture? I want curly hair or straight hair?
Curly.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it suspenders. And maybe, what is that sleeve called? The bishop sleeve. And maybe I'll give it a waistband and some unpressed pleats. And these are the folds made by her legs. And her feet are chubby, which makes her look cute. And then her couch, I'm going to make a little different line thickness. And my brush, this marker's a little dry, which I think it kind of just makes it not as important, which I think is cool. So it just looks like a background. Okay, and that kind of curved. I like it that it's a little wonky. Okay. So now some color. That's sand. Should I use a middle value flesh or a light flesh or a dark flesh? What do you guys want?
Middle. Her knees are so big. I love it.
So,
Middle flush.
okay, so this is light walnut. And I'm on marker paper. And I thought I flipped it around, but it's the darker value, so I'm going to saturate the back too. So I'll come back and give it more value after it's dried a while. So what color shirt should I give it? Or do I just make up my mind?
Purple.
Purple? What color skirt? Should I do plaid?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. I don't know if this one's lighter.
I think you should do like an orange and like brown plaid.
An orange and brown plaid?
Yeah.
Orange and brown with purple. Okay, let's see. Let's deco peach. So my orange is,
Miss Rad?
I'm not sure. We'll see. Should I put purple in it?
You can. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Never say never when you're a designer. You never know. Okay, so we got some orange. Do you want that color orange and some brown? So I have,
You have a burnt orange?
I think I did. Let's see. Seems like I remember that color, burnt orange. I have burnt ochre and I have terracotta and pumpkin orange. So you think burnt ochre is, you like that color?
It's not the burnt orange I was thinking of, but it's
What were you thinking? A little more red?
This is picking up. I don't know how it is, and on camera it looks a lot more tan.
Was this more burnt? This is terracotta. Should I mix some purple with it?
Sure.
And what was the other color you said? Brown, right? Brown. Now let's see. Do I have any other oranges? That terracotta. And then this is a pumpkin orange. They look kind of all the same color. So that give me a little bit of brown. That brown is called dark brown. Now, if I put some piping, purple in a, let's see. Now that light walnut. Smoke a light. That's not light walnut. Where did it go? Light walnut. Violet. Brown. Color shoes.
Purple.
Should I make them sparkle?
Yeah, like red sparkles. Red and purple.
Ooh. Should I color the chair?
I don't know what to color it.
Like a bright red
Bright red
or green.
or green?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which color? Or red or green?
I think red.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on the back first. See how it looks. So do I like it darker? Or do I like it lighter?
I think it looks nice light, but I really like light dusty rose colors.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep it lighter on this side. Do those shoes look shiny?
Yeah, they look
Yes.
sparkly.
So they're in the instructions, it says something about what the cover page should have on it. I don't really remember all of it.
I'm actually looking at it right now if you want me to read it.
Okay, because it said something about your name.
It's a brand name, your logo for your new division, the season, the specific day of delivery, your name in bold, and a photo depicting your theme, mood, or story.
So what do you think my theme is when you look at this? She's got a secret.
New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh, it has a Mardi Gras feel?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is southern. No,
So
southern.
maybe I could put some little party favors everywhere and maybe some Mardi Gras beads. I took my sons to Mardi Gras to see a Super Bowl, and they weren't very old. They were like 9 and maybe 12. And I forgot that the girls take off their tops and run around the main street like a parade. And then you throw the Mardi Gras beads at them. And so we were in a restaurant with the windows open and the girls walking by. And that's when it dawned on me, oh my gosh, these boys are going to see naked women. I was like trying to keep them distracted. It was so funny. Like they haven't seen naked women. But I kept them distracted. They didn't notice. I was very proud of myself. It was funny.
That's funny.
It was so pretty in New Orleans when you're walking into the football stadium. They had all the kindergartners lined up holding hands, singing a song and welcoming us to New Orleans. It was so cute. It was so cute. Let's see.
Who played in the Super Bowl that year?
I don't even remember. It was so long ago. I don't remember.
Boobies.
You know? Did you just say you know?
Oh,
Somebody said something. I know I'm making them all different colors. I know they're not. They're all one color, but that's okay. I probably could Google it and find out when the Super Bowl was in New Orleans. But I don't remember. It's too long ago. Well, my son, one's almost 40 in one more year, and he was like 13 at the time, so I guess I could do the math. Anyway, is it? So to me, a sitting pose is great for a cover because it gives a mood. Maybe I'll put a nice shadow on this one. I don't know what it is with me and shadows.
Miss Rad,
Yeah.
I am finding it challenging to think of a photo that depicts the theme, just like one photo, you know?
that depicts Star Wars?
I mean, yeah, but it's also, it has like, you know, like a bohemian style in it as well. I mean, I think Padme wore like bohemian dress, so I might just put her.
Have you tried typing in Bohemian Star Wars and see what you get on Google?
I haven't. I'm sure Padme will pop up though.
Now her hair looks like she dyed it purple.
Isn't the Star Wars that Carrie Fisher was in kind of bohemian? Like in the 70s?
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like honestly, that's why I like Star Wars. I had like, you know, I had that futuristic like vibe to it, but then it was bohemian and kind of had that like desert vibe as well.
Or white pencil. How do I lose pencils? White. Need white.
Yeah, I just realized like Star Wars is actually really bohemian. Wow.
Think I should give it up or keep doing it? I think I've done enough. What do you think? Have I done enough? So we're going to put the day of delivery. What will the day of delivery be? 1 year from now? What season is it going to be? Holiday?
Spring or
So maybe
oh, it's a year from now.
maybe in time.
A holiday usually is delivered in October.
Okay, so let's do October 1st, 2021. Okay. So then the brand name is going to be
Foxy Grounds.
what? Did anybody have a brand name? No? What else did it have to say? Your name of your division and the brand that you want to work for. Okay, so delivered by October 1st. And it's going to be holiday season. And what would you call this theme? Mardi Gras?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
how-
have a question. It's Daniela.
Yeah.
So the division that you want us to like design for is why is it called like big girls and little girls?
It
Shouldn't
is.
it be called like for big girls preteen?
Maybe it's just the size.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go take a break and then come back. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So go take a break. Can you see? what happened there? Is everybody back?
I'm here.
Hi. So this is the lab portion of the class, so I'll help anyone that wants help. Just let me know. That's the pin. I haven't put online yet. Somebody asked me what it was.